Hi there, welcome to Floating in Dreams. These were the worst makeup products I tried in 2025. Welcome to everybody watching today. Thank you so very much for joining me. Today I have 10 makeup products that I don't really love as much as I'd hoped. These are of course not bad products per se, but these were just things that didn't live up to my expectations for whatever reason. Either it was a formula I didn't love, or I just find it a little bit expensive for what you get, or maybe there are just cheaper things on the market that I feel do the same thing. So these were just things that weren't wholly successful to me, and I just thought I'd share those with you as well. Of course, my best, like end of year favorites are going to come to you really soon. I will be posting those videos starting Christmas Day, so I hope you look forward to that. And if I look and feel rough, it's because that's exactly how I feel. I've had quite the week. Last week, my boiler broke down, my body was acting up, work has been super busy, and I had an office Christmas party last night. So it's been a whole thing. I just need to film this video so that I have something that can go up this weekend, and then I'm just gonna chill for like a couple of days because I need it. So let me just get to these makeup products. If these happen to be your favorites, I do apologize. This is by no means trying to talk down on any of your particular favorites, but these just didn't quite work for me. We are going to start things off with a Catrice lip product. Now, I could fill, I think, this entire video with things just by Essence and Catrice, because those are two brands I simply have most access to, and therefore I test out so many of their products, and not all of it works. I do a few videos with them every single year in terms of like when they have their biannual like updates, then I buy those products and I test them all out. And especially if they have new lip products out, I love testing those out. But more often than not, either the lipstick line doesn't work for me or they don't have the color range that I like. It's rare for me to find something in there that I truly love. But you know, it makes for good videos, and I love testing out these things because when I love their lip products, then they end up becoming like my favorites. Like the Catrice Scandalous Matte range that they discontinued this year. Why? They're some of my all-time favorites. So I still wear those lipsticks from like often, like casually overdressed, we all know. One of my all-time favorite lipsticks. So when they get it right, they do it excellently, but when they get it wrong, it's a bit meh meh. But yeah, this is the Melt and Plump Juicy Lip Plumper. I just grabbed a random shade. This entire range just didn't work for me. It's one of those like clicky pens that you need to click up, and then there is something in there. I think in the springtime we got these, and then they did like a shimmering version for the fall time. These are sheer. The colors all look the same when I put them on my lips. They just don't really look that distinct. And also the shade selection was just not my cup of tea. Formula-wise, they were okay, but they kind of just like disappear super easy. They don't even really plump your lips because there's no plumping agents in here. They're just shiny, and that's why they make your lips look fuller. So I felt this product didn't deliver on the name, it didn't deliver on the color palette that they had chosen to create the shades, and it didn't deliver on like what it looked like on my face for that reason. So these just weren't my favorite at all. Are these like quick and easy things to like touch up throughout the day and you can just throw them into your bag and have them with you on the go? That's what they're super easy for. So I do see merit in the product. I think there is a market for these. There is someone out there who will like something like this. But for me and the way I live my life, I just don't really want that. I don't have time during a busy teaching day to be touching up my lipstick all the time. So I need something that lasts and that I can wear while talking a lot to people, and that doesn't slide everywhere either. So this wasn't my favorite. Let me see. There is quite a few Catrice and Essence things in here, like I said, because I try so many things by them. The Under Eye Brightener from Catrice. I didn't try too many concealers this year because I had been trying a lot of concealers last year and I just wanted to work on using something up. before it expired, and I actually managed to do that. And the Under Eye Brightener by Catrice is a product that's super popular in their range. This now comes in a little pot, it comes in this liquid version, and it comes in a powder. So it's this nice little family of products, and I really feel that that's how Catrice has intended it. But I have both the pot and the powder version of this already, and both of those have a function in my makeup collection. In fact, I've worn the little pot today because I was like, my under eye bags feel like they are hanging on the floor today, so I need that little bit of brightening, of course. And I just don't feel this is as effective. If you buy something from this Under Eye Brightener range, get the little pot, because the pot is far more potent. It does actual color correction. This I felt was a little bit too thin for it to combat my dark circles. And since I have pretty deep set eyes, I always have a lot of like dark blue. And the more tired I get, the darker this area gets. And this just like, it didn't really do much. So that's why for me, this is just not a very successful product. However, if you have a pretty dry under eye area, then something this liquidy can actually work. And it probably works best if you layer a concealer over it. That's usually how you use an under eye brightener. You don't use them by themselves, of course. And this was okay enough for that, but then I have plenty of concealers that I don't need to use an under eye brightener with because it already works, because this does so little that it doesn't really add anything extra. What this mainly has is some like light reflecting qualities, I feel. So you would have to wear this by itself in order to get the full effect. You know what I mean? So that's why this product just in my brain doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, you already do something that does this, that does the job better. So then why did we need this? Like, I get that they're trying to bank in on the popularity of their under eye brightener range, of course, but this feels just a little like extra and just something we didn't need. Essence, this entire soft touch range wasn't my favorite. When I spotted these, I was super excited for them because I really thought I was gonna love them. This is the bronzer version of this, and I thought this was gonna be a cream. It ends up being a powder, so that confused me already, because when you touch this, it feels super creamy. The shade of this is nice. The shades in these ranges are super good, but there was just something about the formula that just didn't work for me quite well. The bronzer was a little bit too lacking. The blush was nice and punchy. I tried this really nice rich berry shade, and that's more of like a cream to powder kind of formula, as is the highlighter that they do in the range. They came out with a full range in these. And like I said, shade-wise, I like them, but there was just something about them in usage. They feel really weird and thin, and you need to layer them, especially the bronzer. I needed to layer it quite a bit in order for it to do anything for me. And I'm like, I'm super fair. I should not have to work this hard for my bronzer to show up on my face. So this is perhaps a little lackluster, and it's just not the best work that Essence has ever done. Again, Essence can do really, really good blushes, bronzer, and highlighters. I have plenty, and I've tried plenty in my day. This just wasn't quite it. Ooh, I thought I dropped it on the floor. Something that I was sent in PR, but that I just don't really like. I was sent this by YESSTYLE. This is by Flower Nose. It's their Strawberry Cupid blush. Do I have a shade for this? Of course I can't read this. It's far too small. But I'm sorry, but peachy corals, I have decided a couple of years ago that this is just not my shade. Is it a beautiful product? Yes, but I do feel the doe foot does like give you too much product for it to go onto your cheeks. Like, I don't have small real estate in the cheek area. Like, this is a large area of my face, and I just feel it's a little too much, so I'm forever wiping it away. And this, because of the doe foot, it really makes you feel like you can like dot it on and it's going to work. I felt it didn't. So not only is the shade not my favorite, the formula isn't my favorite either. This kind of has a weird dry down where as it dries down, it doesn't get sticky or anything like that, but it kind of makes your cheek feel like it's like tightening your skin. I didn't need that, and it has the worst sort of fruity smell ever. Like, it's so strong. It kind of reminds me of like the cheap like pink bubble gum that I had as a kid. You know, the one where if you chew it like 3 times, the flavor is gone? It smells like that. So, not for me. And then the final sort of like cheek product that isn't like related to the eye area is this Dior blush stick. This showcases how much of a struggle it was to even get to 10 products to show you in this video today, because most of the things I've tried this year I've loved. I haven't tried as much makeup in 2025 as I have done in other years, simply because I just wanted to slow down. I didn't want to like have all like this continuation of new stuff in and then only to declutter it again later. I was like, that's not really the way I want to live my life. And this Dior blush stick, I bought it with a gift voucher, so I didn't pay full price for this. I waited until there was a 25% discount. But if you pay full price for these blush sticks, I think you're going to be disappointed. Because it's a beautiful product. I mean, it's Dior. It's got beautiful packaging. I love how this like clear thing, and I love the shade of this. This is pink lilac in the Backstage blush stick. But this, it's messy. I need 3 layers of this shade to make it look nice on my skin, because 1 layer, it just doesn't show up. And I have very light skin. Remember, I'm super duper fair. So for this to barely show up on my skin, a bit like the bronzer, I'm like, what's up with that? It could have been a little bit more pigmented Dior. And for how much money this goes, I'm like, I have so many really good blushes that are far cheaper than this that I would reach for over this. I mean, I think this thing retails for like 50 euros. Like if I didn't have the discount and the gift voucher, I wouldn't have gotten this. So I was like, so this was just a bit like, meh, it's just too expensive for what you get. And as pretty as the packaging is, after a couple of uses, because this is super creamy, you can tell perhaps a little bit here that I've like twisted it down, because if you don't twist this down far enough and you don't wipe the rim every single time, this is going to look super messy. So what I have been doing, like when I found that out, I like pushed a tissue in there to clean it up again. But I hate messy makeup products. Like, you could have done better. Like, if this hadn't been clear, would have solved the problem already. So yeah, I like this. It looks really pretty. It's a very beautiful product. I'm probably not going to declutter it straight away because it does work. But I don't think you get a lot of product in here. Let me see. Can I find how much product is in here? It seems to say 6 grams of product on the bottom here. So that's a decent amount of product. But if I have to use 3 layers of this to make it work, those 6 grams of product are going to last me a long time if I were to use this every single day. So I do feel that this is a bit like on the verge of what I feel comfortable recommending to you guys. It's just expensive for what it is. If you find shades like this from a K-beauty brand, you can get the exact same look for a lot less. You don't need to spend this much money on a blush stick from Dior, even though it's beautiful. It's a beautiful product. I do really like that. But there are definitely a couple of things here where I'm like, that could have done better. And then finally, another Catrice product, but this is also like a stand-in for an Essence product because both brands came out with Lash Primer this year. And as much as I like the concept of Lash Primer, if you have sensitive eyes, if you wear contact lenses or even glasses, or if you have hay fever, like me, don't get this. And don't get the Essence one either. The Essence one was even a worse offender than this is. But this is in the shade Soft Black. It's not soft black. It's gray. Not really my favorite. And what this actually, like, of course, lash primers are meant to go on first. And then you put your mascara on top. And it makes your lashes look fuller. And you get more oomph out of your mascara. That's the idea with these things. But this did nothing. You can't wear it by itself because then your lashes look gray. Maybe for some people with really light skin and very light lashes that may actually look better than a black. So I think there could be some people who could this be right for. But the thing it does to your lashes before the mascara goes on, it made my eyes itch so badly. Like, I was like, is this my hay fever acting up? No, it was the mascara. So this is not gonna go. So that's why I cannot recommend these products. I don't think I've ever tried a lash primer that doesn't mess with my sensitive eyes. It just doesn't. Because it just clumps my lashes so badly, and the little fibers that these things have, it looks like it works well for like the first hour or two, but as the mascara keeps drying and drying and drying, little flakes of that fluffy lash primer start to break off my lashes, and then it gets into my eyes, and I just want to rub my eyes the entire day, which is not what you want. So for me, this is just a no-go. If you have less sensitive eyes, you don't have allergies, this may work for you really, really well. But for me and my allergy-prone eyes, like my hay fever goes on year-round because I'm allergic to trees rather than grass. It's a blessing. So yeah, that means that pretty much end of January, these things start back up, and it doesn't stop until early December. So products like this, just no, I should stop trying them. And finally, we have some eyeshadow palettes that were my favorite. These end up on the declutter pile really, really soon. Like the minute I tried them, I was like, nope, these are not going to go anywhere. I'm not sure whether this was released this year, but I do think I tried them for the first time this year. These are the Tiny Treasures from Catrice. They did a couple of these. I believe these are removable pans, if I'm not mistaken. I believe you can take the entire tray out or something like this. This is a warm-toned one. This is in Heated Up. And these just weren't really good. Like, they're now doing this over the 5-in-a-box palettes. And those we all know I love. The 5-in-a-box. There are still a couple in my makeup collection. I have the entire range. Those were really good. They were like giving off Natasha Denona 5-pan vibes, but at €4 at the drugstore. So if I find products like that, you know I'm going to love them. But these are like a bad knockoff. Catrice, what did you do? You took a really good product and then turned it into something that just isn't as good. So that's why the Tiny Treasures, like they work in a pinch. These aren't bad shadows, come on. But if I compared them to some of the 5-in-a-box palettes that I've tried that I loved, like the warm-toned one from the 5-in-a-box was excellent. Really good mattes, nice shimmers in there. But this was just a little like, The mattes feel a little chalky. They don't blend very well. They need a lot of building up. Like, I don't mind a matte that I need to build up. Let's be real here. We all know I love a matte that I need to build up rather than Boom Kapow pigment. But this is the kind of building up where I'm like, yeah, after 5 layers, I'm like, yeah, that's a bit too much building up. You know what I mean? And the shimmers were just a bit meh. It just, no. Save your money on that. It's not worth it. And I believe these were all in the same review, so that was a bad month for eyeshadow for me. I still have these in my house because I still need to rank all of my eyeshadow palettes for the year, but these are an instant declutter for sure. And it's not that it's like super bad eyeshadow, but I was super excited for all 3 of these palettes, and they just didn't deliver what I wanted to. So I believe, what's this brand again? I don't remember. Oh yeah, Milo. And I mean, it looks so pretty. It looks like a little book, and it slides out, and it has a little like Monet painting on the front, and then you're like, that's just so beautiful. I believe this is a Japanese brand. So, you know, I love trying those brands, and I very often love Asian beauty, like very subtle things. Like, I don't mind subtle. Like, I like sort of basic everyday things, but this, first of all, it was far more peachy than I had expected based on what I had seen on the website, so that was letdown number 1. Letdown number 2, like this is made to look pretty, but it's almost like they forgot about performance. That's just how I feel. The crease shade doesn't do anything for my crease. This looks like it's going to be a nice shade for like a bit of a liner moment. doesn't do anything. The shimmer was terrible. This matte has Monet written in it, which is the only benefit it really has. I just felt in the execution of this, and especially for how much these palettes go for, because I feel these aren't that cheap, I just felt a little bit underwhelmed with it. It just didn't deliver what I wanted it to deliver. And I felt similarly about the ColourPop So Elemental. I bought this together with the Twilight palette, and the Twilight palette I ended up liking a lot more than I did this. The So Elemental, I thought like, oh, this is going to be so perfect to use together with my Cloud 9, because that's a really subtle, cool toned palette that I love. So I was like, oh, this is going to give a little bit more oomph to that palette. I love a bluish gray. Bring it on. And then I found out that this is a pressed glitter. It's not a shimmer. It's a pressed glitter. And it's a bad pressed glitter. Like, I don't mind pressed glitter. I've got plenty of pressed glitters in my makeup collection. But this feels scratchy. It hurt my lid. It hurt my lid to wear this. I just didn't like it for that reason. And as beautiful as it looks in the pan, I felt in usage, it really didn't perform the way the Twilight palette did. I really felt it was inconsistent. That one was super blendable. It had some really beautiful shades in. There's some taupes in there that I really like. But here, it didn't quite come together. Like, the look I created with it looked pretty, but it wasn't giving what I wanted it to give. You know what I mean? So Elemental by ColourPop? No. And then here we have the Little Angel by Flower Nose. This is the Weeping Angel palette. And we need to take a moment for this gorgeous packaging. We all know that Flower Nose does really, really good product like packaging. And I have a couple of palettes by them that I really, really enjoy. Like, Flower Nose does really beautiful palettes. The Mermaid palette I have by them, stunning. This, I was hoping that this was going to be the same quality as that Mermaid palette. And it just isn't. The only shimmer that works is right here at the top, which you almost can't see because of the reflective packaging. The blue and the gold were really weird shades. I could not build them up, not even with a finger or wet. It didn't layer. It didn't look that shiny. I only really like these two mattes. The pastels didn't work. These didn't work. It didn't quite come together. This is again where I was like, you know, I love a K Beauty and C Beauty and J Beauty palette any time of day, but this it wasn't it. I really struggled to use it. The color story didn't really come together on my eyes. The looks that I thought this was going to create, I just didn't get out of it, and it just didn't work for me that way. So that was a bit of a sad moment when I tried those. But yeah, everything else I've pretty much tried this year I liked to some degree. Some things I've loved, other things I've liked. So you'll see very, very soon, because I will be ranking all of my eyeshadow palettes. I think I'm going to make that the first new video of the new year. And if you want to see what makeup I actually did enjoy this year, then stay tuned, because as I mentioned, I'm going to be doing my end of year favorites from Christmas Day onwards. I still have a couple of videos that will be going live in the meantime, so check those out if you want to. I post 4 times a week on this channel here. I do have a second channel where I post about all things that aren't makeup, which is Floating in Books. Always linked in the description box down below. And I am posting my coloring journey over on TikTok. So you can pretty much follow me anywhere, and then there will be something new every single day. So thanks so much for watching this video here today, and thumbs it up if you liked it. And maybe leave a comment down below, because what's the worst makeup you've tried this year? I would love to know. And then I really look forward to hearing your thoughts and seeing you again in a new video. Bye-bye.